Thank you, thank you. So as Paul may have alluded to, I'm not your typical personal trainer. I'm going to start by opening and sharing a bit of my story. This is a big deal for me, this presentation. It's a culmination of a lot of work. Not just my time here at BNI and the business development work we've been doing with people like Emily from Venture Relations. It's the culmination of a life's work. So I grew up in a household in the middle of the desert that had no passion. No passion. We didn't follow sports. My dad was a German immigrant. My mum is a Filipino immigrant. If you've been trying to guess my ethnicity for the last year and a half, that's what it is. So we had no passion for sport. We had no passion for work. Dad went to work, he came home. That was it. And so I'd heard the word, I had a base understanding of it, but I never really got it. And you know, from a very young age, I found I was very empathetic, and I always wanted to be in a position where I could help people. But there were a lot of my own obstacles that I had to get over to do that. I wasn't always the fine, presentable gentleman that you see today, rocking my Oscar Hunt suit. I was very shy. I was very anxious. But it was my desire to really make an impact that saw me over the years progressively put myself continually outside my comfort zone in order to progress as a person and many years later as a professional. At the age of 20, I suffered a back injury that put me out of action for 6 months. All right? At the age of 20, you're supposed to be at your prime. I couldn't even walk down the street. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit for more than a minute without pain. I went to see the doctor. Because we're in a bush town, they flew in a surgeon, and the surgeon just basically said, the MRI doesn't show anything, the CAT scan doesn't show anything, so there's nothing wrong with you. So let's put you on pain meds. And if you've ever been in a situation like that, you feel kind of trapped. You're like, if this guy who is an expert in his field thinks there's no answer, maybe there's no answer. So what do you do at 20? You accept it? So I didn't accept it. I'm kind of stubborn that way, right? So I started to look for alternative ways to do this. I went to a Bowen therapist, I went to a chiropractor, I went to a physio, and all of them gave me little snippets of it, but no one really tied it all together. And everyone was shipping in their own field. They're like, I don't know the answer, so there is no answer. That's it, thank you, pay your money, go off to the next person. I started rehabbing myself, and I thought, well, if I can't do anything, the most base thing any person can do is walk. So I started to walk. So this is my Forrest Gump phase. It took me about 3 hours to get across the mining town from end to end, and I would walk every day. I found the more I walked, the more I freed up. The first hour was like Monty Burns, the second hour was freer and freer and freer. And so if I kept that up, I found that I was able to continue. I kept that up until I passed a gym one day, and I passed your typical gym. Walked in, Michael, his name was, stripy bike shorts, bum bag, Gold's Gym singlet with a little bit of man nipple hanging out the side, Mo, perm, sat me down, gave me the same uninspired questionnaire that he gave everyone else, and gave me the same program that he gave everyone else. I persisted. I trained. I kept myself physically able as best as I could. I went back to the doctor and he said, well, you're physically fit. There must be nothing wrong with you. I said, if I stop exercising, why am I still in chronic pain? So it started to irk me. It really started to irk me because I was like, there's got to be other people here. I want to be in a business. This is my passion, right? Because it's personally connected to me. I know that there's other people who are going through a similar situation, and those are the people I want to help. Now, I had many ups and downs. I've done many different careers, not just in the fitness, and it actually took me to, that was in the 90s. In the 2000s, I actually started my fitness journey, and from my first certification to this current day, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on upskilling myself. I put myself in comfort zones that no other PT I know has done. I've traveled around the country and presented to fitness professionals. I ran a training organization for fitness professionals. I brought in a new landmark diploma for them, and all of it was tied back to those moments and me knowing that I can help people in my professional capacity and I can improve the world. In 2005, I started Juggernaut PT from an ethos. The ethos was be unstoppable, because that, no matter how hard my life got, and I've only given you a very small snippet, no matter how hard my life got, fitness and movement was my rock, all right? And so I developed this mindset of being unstoppable. And that continued for 15 years. I've got clients in here that trained with me in my first boot camps, out in the park, freezing, raining, cold, sandbags that I liberated from Sandringham Beach, all this sort of stuff, and they're still with me today, right? And even if they don't train with me, we still have a great relationship. I hadn't seen Anthony Varden for years, and we caught up for a chat, and it was just like old times, except I wasn't giving him burpees, but pretty much like that. It was pretty much like old times. And that led to Juggernaut. And that's, the services that we offer in the last 3 years since I returned to full-time coaching after running that vocational institute were crazy. So this is my secret that I've been hosting. Recalibrate. Juggernaut is the ethos. Recalibrate is the strategy that we're using to help people out. It's tailored, it's targeted, it's individual. We find clients, we work with them hand in hand, we get more data than anyone else, and we plan to use that data. The business development work that I've been doing ties into Recalibrate. Juggernaut is not forgotten, it's still very much a part of me, it's in my heart, but Recalibrate is a strategy that we use in order to help people achieve success, not just fitness-wise, but professionally. I'm going to be really kind of pushy here, Gareth. I'm going to push past my barrier if that's cool with you.
Go for it, bud.
Excellent, thank you very much. So, it's a strategy. It's tailored, it's targeted, and it's in a system that will help us, allow us not only to help individual professionals succeed, not only in their work capacity, their bottom line, but businesses as well. Because the more resilient you are fitness-wise, the more resilient you are mindset, nutrition, in your family life, and the more engaged you are. Absenteeism is in the billions, 44 billion. Presenteeism, where people are present at work physically but not productive, is far past that, up to 4 times. If we can help negate that cost and help people improve their bottom line, then we're on to a good thing. And it's about an investment in your company and your people and your culture. So, this is our system and our strategy. We holistically discover. We give people a comprehensive questionnaire online, then we bring them in for 2 one-to-one sessions if we're working individually. If we're working with the company, we follow the same process, just different steps. We go through a postural scan, bioimpedance scan. We sit down and talk to the person as a person and find out about them. We identify what they're after and prioritize. Sometimes we identify stuff that people don't even know themselves. And we've solved many a physical mystery that people, like myself, have been putting up with for years and just accept it as part of their life. But we help them get to the bottom of it, and we empower them. We give them phase design, 8-week blocks, and every 8 weeks we're going to be reassessing that. That's part of the business development that we're announcing today. That's how we're formalizing it. Those of you who have worked with me previously, you may have seen small snippets of the system, but we're bringing it all together and we're launching it with Recalibrate. We're implementing it for an 8-week phase, and at the end of the 8-week phase, we benchmark and assess. For a business, you've regularly got to benchmark and assess. For a person in their life, you've regularly got to benchmark and assess. And we want to be with our clients not only for the bad times when they really need someone in their corner, but we want to be with them for the good times to help make them better. So we'll assess with them, we'll sit down, we'll get their feedback, and we'll really gauge where they're at. And then we'll plan out your next phase. And when we put down your next plan, we'll refine it with you. We don't tell you what your fitness should look like, we help it work for your lifestyle and your needs. We adapt and optimize that, and we continue to grow. For an individual, we offer tailored, targeted, and sustainable solutions. For the individual, they're time poor, they're high stress, they're frustrated, they feel trapped by their health, by their physicality, by their mindset, they feel trapped. We help them find a way out of it. For the corporate, they may have issues like poor culture, or they want to improve their culture. They've got a high staff turnover rate, they may have trouble attracting talent. This global market where people are online 24/7, their resilience is crucial to how they produce. If you can have someone going into a negotiation at their peak, you're going to get more business. If you have someone that's half asleep or hopped up on drugs because they're in pain, they're not going to perform at their peak. And we present operational risks. Business owners in the room, what happens if you go down? What happens to your business? Who's the big money earner? What happens to you go down? You'll take out insurance, which is awesome, but you also need to ensure that your health stays current. So, thank you for your patience. We want to help people reclaim their potential. We want people to develop a strategy for themselves like they do for their business. And if you want, you can contact me at gary@recalibrate.melbourne. Or you can check out our new site, which is just launched last night, recalibrate.melbourne. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Gareth. I'd like to name all my visitors by name.
Thanks
Only three. Only three. Thank you, Gareth.
Thanks very much, Gary. It's exciting to see the new phase in Juggernaut PT, the new direction it's taking with Recalibrate. Very, very exciting. Our next speaker is Gareth Bahanas, or as he like to tells us, Gareth with 2 R's Bahanas. I understand you're a keen golfer and you play each week with John on a Sunday morning.
Correct.
Other than John,